The R66 as it stands, there's literally no competition. I mean, there's just nothing that's remotely like the machine at this point. So the only real competition you have at this point is used versions of your competitors, and some of those have to be really used to get to your price point. What are you hearing from people in regards to the value proposition, and are you going to be able to keep the R66 below 800 grand?
Well, we hope so. A lot of that depends on our own vendors and our own cost. But we've done everything we can to bring it down. We've got the same design philosophy that we put into the R22 and the R44, where we're actually looking to put something out there that we're not just producing 20 or 30 of a year, that we're doing 300-400 a year. And when you get up to those kind of volumes, you can get some economies of scale and drive the price down. And that's where we always like to be. We'd rather sell a lot more at a lower price than just a few at a higher price.
The market as it stands right now, we've been through a couple of years of really tough times. It affected you, but it sure didn't affect you as badly as some others. What has been your experience in getting through the last 2 years of the global economic situation, and how does it look for Robinson from here on out?
It affected us. There's no question that this is certainly the first time in my life that I've seen it where it wasn't just like the United States that went down, or it was Europe. It was global, and we had never really seen that before. We watched it go from, we had almost a year backlog. We were doing close to 19 ships a week, and then all of a sudden people couldn't get financing. The banks just froze up. People that had given us deposits were ready for aircraft. When they went back to their bank and said, okay, now I need the rest of the loan, and the banks just said no. And so we saw that worldwide. And that took probably through the spring of this year, of 2010, to clear out and get things going again. And now we're seeing it around the world, not everywhere, but you've got places like Australia, you've got Brazil, South America, areas that have kind of come back first, and then even the United States now is starting to kind of slowly but surely work its way back. The interesting thing about that too is that the aircraft that we're selling now, you would think that you would be more attractive to the lower price points, meaning the R-22 or the Raven 1. It's not true. Most of our orders are actually coming for the Raven 2, the more expensive of the R-44 line. And I have no answer for why that is.
Now, another moment of freedom from Cirrus Aircraft. Freedom through safety. Perhaps the ultimate freedom is confidence, assurance, and peace of mind. We design it into every personal aircraft we build. It's the security that comes with knowing you're flying the plane with a parachute. The breakthrough concept that launched the Cirrus phenomenon.
Which brings up the ultimate question. What is the future of the Piston Robbie line?
It's pretty solid. The sales have actually already started picking up again as the economy's going by, and so we're real pleased with it. And we have right now, over 9,000 Piston aircraft out there. And those helicopters, people using them, they tend to sell other helicopters.
Will there be more development in the Piston line?
Sure. As we go along and as technology improves, we'll be looking at a lot of different things on there. It really depends on, a lot of it's the avionics that are coming out and the things that we'll be looking at, and we'll be improving the aircraft as things come along. Not necessarily a whole new model change, but as you look at different improvements that you can do to the aircraft, we're continuing to do those even now.
You've made a very interesting life transition lately. Frank Robinson, of course, has been Robinson Helicopter since the beginning. And there's no question in anybody's mind that he revolutionized the personal and light commercial rotorcraft market to an extent that nobody would have believed just a few years before. Stepping into those shoes, talk about a tough act to follow. How are you liking it?
I can't replace Frank. Don't even try,
Understand.
that type of thing. But what we do have here is we have a team of top people, and I can think of 8 or 10 that we've all been here in excess of 20 years. The heads of engineering, production, sales and marketing, legal, the whole gamut across the board. They're all roughly in my age group. We're all late 40s, early 50s type of people. We've all been working here for a long time. We've all been trained in the Frank mantra of how to do things, and so we're excited to be able to kind of cut the strings loose and let us all run and do what we've been taught to do. And for that, it's easy because you can't have one person. And Frank used to be able to go from his gut, and when we were smaller, he pretty much had to do that. But now, as we've kind of moved into, larger production, as I say, we've got so many aircraft out there. It takes a team now.
Integra Release 9 sets a new standard with the easiest to use pilot interface in all of general aviation. Access to any of Release 9's powerful capabilities is as simple as pressing the desired bidirectional page key. Pressing the same key in a desired direction navigates through the clearly labeled tabs with no more guessing as to what a given pilot input would do. Avidyne's Integra Release 9 is the next generation in fully integrated flight deck technology, and the easiest to use page and tab user interface is just one of the many benefits designed to make your flying easier and safer.
How do you, though, like being in your position right now? I mean, it's got to be one thing to have worked so closely with Frank and everything else, and now to be the decision maker.
It's been a little while coming. Frank is still here. He doesn't put in an 8-hour day, but he's still somebody, a sounding board, and that's very comforting. It's also nice to be able to get some feedback from him as we go forward. But these are things that we've talked about for years, things that I understand what we need to do, and how to go about doing them. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I didn't really, really enjoy flying, enjoying what I do here. It's kind of an honor for the board to have selected me and to say, look, let's all work together, and for me to head up this group. I'm really proud of everybody.
Final question. This is the toughest one, and I realize it's totally unfair. Pull out the Robinson crystal ball. 10, 20, 30 years from now, what does Robinson look like?
I'd like to think we'll be even more global, that we'll be larger, and that we'll be catering hopefully to all of the needs and desires of the helicopter community. Frank has started out by everything that we made and we put it right back into the company, and we did it for the advancement and development of helicopters and for the helicopter industry, to try and grow the industry. I'd like to look 20 years ahead and see that the helicopter industry is even bigger, that they're even easier to use, that more people use them, that they find more markets. That's what I see. And then our job is just to facilitate that, is to figure out ways that the helicopters can be safer, that they can have better endurance, that it's not so difficult to fly, and that they're used in areas where people aren't using them right now.